I'm an athlete, so the expectation is that, you know, you're going to perform no matter what. You're a part of this team where like everyone's counting on you to do this one thing. So they don't really like seeing like the vulnerable side of me per se. And then I'm also incorporated into like some military programs here with military trainings in the same way. There's
Hmm.
kind of this attitude of just, tough it out, pick yourself up by your bootstraps and keep going no matter what. And, just be quiet and eventually it'll turn out okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that sort of narrative or vibe, I guess, in culture. It's big. It's been there, for the viewers. I've been in college for 6 years, studied engineering for two, and then I switched over to industrial design. And nothing about those programs, like, I guess, like, made me feel like I couldn't be vulnerable about mental health or anything like that. Um, but I do think, like, you just kind of I grew up with assumptions about what is okay to share, what is not okay to share, what emotions
Yeah.
are okay to show, what emotions are not okay to show, and, like, who you can really trust with that information. And yeah, I mean, I'll get into it later, but part of my college journey was understanding that it's okay to admit that there's something that needs addressed, and
Yeah.
that's a scary place to be, but, like, you just have to admit it, and you can just go from there.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, 100,000% I agree. Yeah, and I think and maybe we'll, like, dive into this, like, later on, but yeah, like, really, like, the expectation, like, everything's always okay and, like, always great and, like, like, walking around campus, like, saying hi to people. Maybe there's something we dive into later on, but yeah, I you know, even, like, as someone who, like, is typically, like, pretty extroverted, like, I find myself always wanting to, like, say hi to people, like, say, "Hey, how are you?" But then sometimes, like, knowing, like, a lot of people can, like, put a lot on you and, like, put a lot of pressure, like, "Oh, if I don't say hi to them warmly, if I, like, don't, I don't give them my best, then I must be, like, a failure," and, like, that's something I typically that, like, has, like, clicked with me a lot. Even, like, now into today, like, it can feel, like, hard, like, sometimes to show up for the people that we, like, want to show up for, even, like, having those, like, more in-depth conversations, even, like, on the fly, like, when we, like, heading to class, like, just saying hi to them, but, like, wanting to give more to them, but, like, not giving enough to them can, like, sometimes feel overwhelming. I don't know if you guys, like, relate to that,
No,
like, type of conversation.
100%.
Yeah.
100% because I, like for me personally, I always feel like I need to kind of put my best face forward. And if I'm like kind of having like an off day, I'll just kind of like not be as open to a conversation. And like my friends know this, so like they'll ask what's wrong. And then I don't know, like for me, like I appreciate it, but I also like sometimes I'm not like ready to say it like in the moment. And I think like for me, I struggle with accepting that I don't have to always be like giving like a sense of like kind of like what you said that like always being on, and I just like have trouble like accepting that I just have my off days. Like my guest closed for business for today.
Yeah. Sorry, Joey, go ahead.
Sure, sure. And just to add to that, I know my favorite kind of phrase I use whenever I interact with people is like, "Oh, I'm surviving," or it's like another day in the office, or
Yeah.
when people ask how I'm doing, and really that's just my way of kind of like saying, I don't know how to communicate to you that I'm not okay right now.
Mm.
Because I
Yeah.
am so afraid to say, actually, the world's feeling pretty overwhelming right now, and I've got zero clue what's going on. But I know the answer you want to hear is, oh, everything's great or oh, everything's fine. And that's just so difficult because we've kind of created this culture where it's not okay to be not okay.
Yeah. Boys like I'm good.
Yeah,